Hello, my babies. Welcome back to a new episode of our yapping sessions, especially about Euphoria because this is what we'll be talking about. But first, I need to tell you something. So, I've been gone for like 2 weeks, or almost 15 days. In these 15 days, I was actually spending 4 days out of it with one of my friends at their place. We were just chilling, cooking and talking, eating, listening to music. It was so relaxing. And then after that, I needed some time for myself where actually I don't see anyone or I don't talk to anyone. It's more like fasting from socializing and also fasting when it comes to food, because I was doing some kind of experiment on myself, and this is something I really like. I mean, not a lot of people are okay when it comes to trying something new that might affect your body, might affect your brain, whatever it is. They have always some sort of fears of trying new things. I mean, this is something I generally experienced with some people I know. When I tell them that you should try to do this or change your routine or this or that, they really, I wouldn't say they reject the idea, but they prefer to stay in the zone where it's comfort and something that they know already, something that they're sure it's going to affect them in a bad way. Although some of it has like a lot of bad habits, so at the end, not changing or not doing something to change, it's also kind of a bad thing. Like, I feel at some point I was stuck a little bit in my head, I would say, and probably in my life. Maybe it was the time for me to change or something like that. But as I told you, this was an experiment and a journey, private one, I would say. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about it right now, but definitely I will make a special episode about it. I will tell you what I have done, what I have been doing so far that made me disconnect from, as they say, the 3D, and how much it did help me to see a lot of things with clarity. It's crazy. And of course, these things, it has to do with a specific routine that you have to maintain. You have to meditate, you have to work out, you have to fast, you have to consume things that you don't usually do every single day. And of course, being very far from any distraction, for example, phone. So I was really off for like a lot of times. I grab my phone and I'm like, let me check something, let me do something. And then I was like, look, this is where it's, well, I wouldn't say weak spot, but this is where you hesitate and you take a step back. So try always to convince yourself, try to talk to yourself through the whole process, through the whole journey, because of course this is part of the whole thing, which is sitting with yourself connecting with yourself, connecting your mind, your heart, your body, and definitely cleansing your chakra, because I felt that I had some issues in one of, I would say actually 3 points of my chakras were not functioning as it should be. And of course, it was caused by some blockages, so I needed some time to break it, to cleanse it, to rebuild it, and I feel like I did. So if you needed a sign to cleanse your chakra, cleanse your energy, this is your sign. Now, we will stop talking about my journey, because as I said before, I will talk about it in the next episode. I will dedicate a full part for it because it's worth it. But right now, let's talk about Euphoria. I mean, I know I missed talking about episode number 7, but since the show is over, we are going to talk about episode 8 and the ending of the show. Again, I was not expecting this ending. Doesn't mean that I really liked it or like I didn't like it. It just put me in the middle. Like, I don't really know how to feel about it, because I see the signs, the symbols of some sort of spiritual beliefs, and wow, you can hear the trains. Today, by the way, the weather is amazing. Today I feel like I am in October because it's raining, it's cold, it's cloudy, and I feel cozy. I love it. And of course, today I was resting pretty much good. And wait, this is something I need to share with you. This is something I think a lot of people can understand or can relate to if they went through literally awakening, or I would just say awakening, because it's like the moment where you are just doing something that you like, even if it's something super simple. You're just enjoying your time. You're not worried about anything at all, even though, now hear me out, this is the great part about it, even though that you're going through something, let's say, and maybe you're worrying about something or something happening, okay? But you are not stressing about it or like dealing with it as you did in the past. And hear me out, this is where I feel like I am a different person, because I am not even thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Even if it did happen, I don't mind to be going through such a thing, because right now I am a different person. And if you're going through something, you want it to happen, but it didn't, again, that's a good thing, because you are a different person, and your take on things, your reaction, your, how do I say it? The way that, again, you're dealing with things, you are in a state of mind where you're just receiving and standing still, standing in a very beautiful way, not because you have to, but because you can, and you are enjoying doing that. You are living and you're just experiencing life from a different point of view for the first time, let's say, for a long time, because I feel like, yes, I went through this phase. And why am I still talking about it right now? I just realized that I have to talk about again Euphoria. What is going on? Should I just keep this about myself and talk about Euphoria later? No, I will talk about Euphoria and then I will talk about me. So again, well, you see, this is my reaction. It's like I feel this much good, and I really hope that a lot of my listeners can feel the same way that I feel right now, without any influence when it comes to your mood. It's just amazing. So let's continue. I was talking about the ending of Euphoria, right? Again, we are going to talk about it from the psychological way. Because, again, it's about beliefs, spiritual beliefs. So, believe that self-awareness actually guarantees survival. And I feel like, now I'm talking about Rue, I feel like a lot of addiction stories train us to expect this arc, this type of ending, because it goes like suffering, and then realization, and then recovery, as in her case, and then redemption. So I feel like Euphoria was giving you this message that it says like sometimes a person can reach this realization stage or moment or awakening and still doesn't make it. It doesn't mean that it's a bad or sad ending. Just look at the beauty of it, because again, we are here in a positive circle where we transmute everything that we see, we watch, or we go through, let's say. We take the good part out of it because we are learning, right? And another thing is that we should not judge anything or anyone, because simply we just don't feel it. We did not go through the same thing. So that's called compassion. So we should have it for ourselves and toward the others. So according to the creator, I don't know what's his name, but Rue's death was, because I read about it, it was intended as the sirens. Just a second. Okay, I am back. So her death was, I feel like it was intended to be as the honest ending, right? For a story that it was centered, to be honest, on addiction, and it was influenced in part by the loss, of course, of the actor. I can't recall his name, but his character was Fezco. So I feel like what really messed me up psychologically again is that Rue doesn't die during some huge like chaotic fight or something like that, you know, like when she was escaping, I thought, that's it, this is the end. But yeah, she dies after like we've already seen that she recovered, and she's about to change her life. So it felt like it was the last stage of a bad period of time in her life, and that's it. But I feel like this is what makes it more tragic, the ending. And of course, don't forget, it's also about the illusion of beating addiction. And to be honest with you, I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions about addiction is that recovery means that the danger disappears, it's gone, and now it's safe. While actually in reality, addiction changes a lot of things. It changes your decision making, the reward processing, of course, the stress response in some cases, and absolutely when it comes to control, like you have this impulse control. So I feel like the finale almost, to me again, it felt like really psychological conversation or argument against the audience optimism and negativity. So many viewers, they thought that she's finally learning, and of course the show responded like, learning doesn't mean or doesn't erase being vulnerable, and doesn't erase the danger. So that's why I feel like, again, a lot of fans, they were like devastated by it. Especially my friend, he's watching it and he's like always, like he didn't really like the ending. He felt so sad, but as I was explaining to him, I will explain to you why Ruth's death feels like unfair. But we will try to make it sound better than watching it. Because I know emotionally we experienced her from the inside, like we saw what's going on inside of her. Not like the others, like we didn't see much of them, especially in this season. I'm not sure why, but for some reasons I feel like a lot of us, like the viewers, we heard her thoughts, we saw her fears, we even laughed about her jokes, her guilt, of course, and the way she was hoping for a new chapter in her life, right? Wait, I need to drink something. Okay, I am back. So, by the way, in psychology, this called as parasocial attachment. So we don't really watch the character. We psychologically live it with her, like we travel with her, as they say. And compare it to, for example, Nate's death, which is I will go to. But when a villain dies, people react to the event in some sort of way, right? But like when Rue dies, people react to the loss of a relationship that they felt they had. Am I right? And that's why social media exploded with reactions like, I wanted her to beat her demons, she should have not died that way. Some of them, they were like okay with it, but not in that way. Some of them, they wished it was another character's, which is crazy. But the saddest part for me, it's not actually the overdose. And I know she was supposed to take painkillers, but it was, what do they call it? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But anyways, this drug she was taking. Or Elamu gave her. And it's that Rue. I feel like she spent the entire series searching for relief. Like, oh my god, she cannot catch a break. Like, grieving, and then being lonely, and then feeling shame, and then being herself, and then escaping. And it's just crazy, you know? And just when she started to show some kind of signs of genuine reaction, genuine reflection on her own story, on her true self, psychologically again, that's what creates the feeling of grief rather than a shock. Because again, I will compare it with Nate's death, which was for me like horrible. It's really horrible to die like underground, no one can hear you, half of your body is chopped, and you get bit by a snake, or like just taking a pill and then you sleep. You see how both are different, but we were more, let's say, shock when it comes to Rue. So the shock is, I can't believe that happens. But grief, when it's Rue's case, I felt like I can't believe it happened, and that's exactly why it hurts, because there is something that, or a part that we connected to, which is again being compassion and empathy towards good people. Because at some point I felt like Rue, she is a good person from the inside, you know. And Fez's shadow over the ending, even though Fezco isn't physically there, or even he's not part of the finale, unfortunately, but his presence was really good. It really, for me, explained a lot of things, like hangs over everything. Like a lot of seasons, and especially Rue's ending, because we're still talking about it, it feels like it's always haunted by loss. Several critics connected Rue's fate to the real life death of the actor Fez again, and because of course he died of an overdose. So this show attempt actually to confront addiction without giving it a fairy tale or a good ending, you know. So yeah, I feel like the finale is asking you a horrible question, which is it meaningful, that life only valuable if it's ending in recovery? If you find the answer, write it down to me, because I don't know what's the answer. I will be thinking about it, and the show's answer seems to be no, but I like to think about it differently. Still trying to figure it out. So yeah, Rue character was very important to say. It's like mattered even though she didn't get the ending that everyone wanted. And to be honest, this scene was like, it got me the most. Even the death itself, you know. And to surprisingly, it wasn't at the end of the episode. It was like mid or even before. So it was realizing that there would never be another narration afterwards. Her voice was emotional, center of Euphoria, if you notice that. And once that's done, I feel like the episode changed. The whole thing changed. It's crazy. Now, I'm not sure if I should talk about this or not, but it's again the ending. The little cow, it could also symbolize that was rude. It's like a reincarnation. But I'm not sure. I will think about it. Anyways, I hope that you liked the finale. We are done with Euphoria forever. It was good. I wanted to talk about the other characters, but unfortunately I didn't find the right, let's say, comments, because it was like an open ending for all of them. But yeah, all the best for them for sure. I wish you a beautiful day. It's Sunday. Go out, dress well, enjoy your day, do something that you love, drink something that you like, or just stay in, order something. I just got me Starbucks, and it's been a long time since I had something sugary, but today I thought to myself, why not? I absolutely deserve it after 2 weeks of discipline, full discipline. We will talk about that, of course, the next time. I wish you a beautiful day. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to the others. You really don't know what people are going through, but we just need to be humans for each other. That's it. I love you, and you will hear me very soon.